You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If on the other hand you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Friday, 8th day of February, 2019. Hope you're having a great Friday. Whoever you are, wherever you are, if you're returning, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, a special welcome to you. To everyone that joined us this week on the Logic 247 alert trial, we had a great time, a great discussion. Those links are available for anyone that would like to go in and see what we did this week, see what we talked about. Just email Valerie, support@cfrn.net. Our caller, 949-42-EMINI. 949-42-EMINI. And she'll be happy to send them over to you. Okay? Oh, and there's a video as well of the webinar we held on Tuesday, I believe it was. I've got a chart up of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. If you can't see the chart, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click that big microphone one more time. Follow the instructions one more time. And in 30 seconds, you'll be registered, hopefully for good. Deal? Deal. Now, if you're away from the desktop, working off a cell phone, a tablet, you want to stream the show live, you can. No software to download. Thanks to our good friends at youtube.com, you can go there to youtube.com, throw in a /CFRN/live. There it is. There we are. Live in real time. Thanks for joining. And thanks to the good folks at YouTube. Okay, this chart I have up. We posed a couple of questions this morning in the channel. As we were coming down over here, I said, is this shaping up to be a double bottom or the beginning of the next leg down? At first, it looked like, felt like, and I talked about feelings in the channel and how feelings are fickle, and you can't depend on your feelings. We did not put in a lower low, but, and I'm glad this worked out this way, because it speaks to a question that we had in the workshop last night. And I do hope you're either tuned in or you're able to watch this later on, because that lower low that we were talking about, see, we never took out this, so we didn't get from here, right? We're consolidating across here last night during the workshop. One of two things is going to happen. Price is either going to move above this swing high or this swing low, period. That's not something you have to think about, meditate on. It's just, it's kind of like gravity. You know? Don't overthink gravity, because you'll regret it on the way down, right? Okay, so when price is consolidating here inside of a weekly trading zone, okay, now this is not any kind of back padding. I don't want to twist my arm, but I want you to think about this, all right? Please. I tell you over and over and over and over, okay, that when price reaches a weekly trading zone, it's going to do one of three things. The most likely thing to happen is consolidation. Those are 30-minute candles. Got an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, 6, 7 hours that we rolled sideways in little more than a 1-point range, 2692/93, right? Okay. Now, something else I always tell you is you can't know the future. Am I right? We can no more know the future than what? Change the past. That's the reality. So if I can't know the future, how could I give you a set of numbers on Monday morning that come Thursday night and into Friday, price is just going to walk the line for 7 hours? I did not know this was going to happen. There's no way I could know that. Up here, that little doji, rejection. You got a little bit of everything here. You got consolidation, pops up, comes back, gets rejected. That tells you it really is going to try to go higher. Pull back, up we go. Now, when price hits a zone, we expect it to be good resistance until it isn't, right? Over here, as we're coming down, we expect this to be good support until it isn't. Now, you notice that each one of these candles is touching this zone, straddling it, as we say. It's a technical term, straddling it. So did it hold as good support? Yeah, it did. It sure did. Ran it up, sent it back down, consolidation, and then we get a slice. That's when price slices through the zone in one candle like it's not even there. This is a little different, only that we spent so much time consolidating already. But it's still, this 30-minute candle did in fact slice through. Okay? Then what do? We pull back up to the zone, confirm it as good resistance. That's the high probability thing. That's what we see happen over and over. We don't know it's going to happen. We just know it's the high probability thing to happen. So price makes a run at the zone, misses it by a few ticks, pops back up to the zone, runs back down to the zone, tries to get back up to the zone, and on this trip hasn't quite made it yet. All right, so back to my question. Double bottom, beginning of the next leg down. All right, let's walk the legs. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, yeah, leg, retrace. Now, if this is going to be the lower high, then we're already starting that next leg. But what's the important thing that has to happen? Price has to print on the other side of the zone, and better yet, hold it on a pullback before we sell the farm. Okay, and we got our hand spanked over here this morning. We waited all night on this alert to trigger 26.85. Missed a couple ticks. The bounce to, I'm sorry, right here, and when it triggered finally, did it ultimately go where we where our initial target was? Yeah. But before it did that, it pulled up a little bit further than we were willing to risk. Okay. Now I put this in the channel. Just look at this. Okay. If you're getting ready to trigger right here, where should your stop loss be? If you don't know, if you're new, if you didn't take the trial, if you weren't in the channel this morning, well, by golly, I want you to book a personal mentoring session with me so I can show you up close, live in real time. All right. Now, I have to take a call, so I'm going to ask Michael if he's available to pop in.
I'm here.
Okay, and if you would grab this and get into the recap, I should be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, thanks.
All right. Okay. Well, we had a red day today. I will show you that in just a moment here. Oops. That's not what I want to show you. Here. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, the 8th day of February 2019. Today, in the live training room, well, we had a red day. I'll get into that in just a few minutes here. It was just a little bit red, but it was red nonetheless. We did make it back after the room closed. I just ran out of time. You know, I only have 2 hours in the morning, but we'll get into that in a minute. If you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, come here where it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. Click on that, and you will be brought to this page where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Click on the submit button. Once you click on the submit button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link, okay? If you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. So you must click on the confirmation link. Okay? Okay. Spreadsheet. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you can read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. As I said, we had a red day. We lost 8 ticks in the euro. We lost 11 ticks in crude. And we made 8 ticks on the ES. So we're minus 60 bucks on the morning. And we did all of that with 9 trades. So on the month now, we're at $666.25. That's over 6 days, averaging $111 per day. On the year now, we're at $2,697. That's over 25 days, averaging $107 per day. Okay? Okay. Put that down, and now we'll show you what we did or didn't do. In gold, we only had 1 trade. It was right here. It was a break even. We missed this momentum trade, but we had 1 trade there in gold that was a break even. Nothing during the break. It just wasn't trending. You know, there were no news events today, so I was figuring the markets would probably be problematic. And they were. On the euro right here, you know, we were following it down. We missed the short right here. But that was, well, that was pre-market. It was actually 923. And that didn't put in a lower swing. Then we didn't put in a higher swing. Then we did put in a lower swing, but we didn't get a trade set up. Then we put in another lower swing, and we did get a trade set up, and it stopped us out, and then went and did what it should have done. We had another one here that we missed, and since then, there's been nothing. It's just not trending. Okay, the markets are just not trending today. Well, wait, let me get back to that. Vic, you asked that at 12:03. Decision time different than 3 bars to the right. Oh, okay. That was to Dwayne, not to me. Okay, now this is the crude. Now, crude was stuffed in this range for a long time. Okay, then it got out and it went right back in it. You see how many times it went up to the top of this range and then came down off of it? Well, we started out. See, I had a guy doing work on my house today, so I ended up missing this. I had to go talk to the guy, and I ended up missing this. We would have gotten the goal for the day right there if we'd have gotten it. I know we did have some of our partners who were in the room this morning did get their goal for the day on that one move right there. But right here, I picked up 1 tick. Here, I picked up 4 more to put us at +5. Then I stopped out to put us at -3. Then I missed that trade, and that trade, and that trade. And I got a break even here. And then I had another stop out there to put us at -11. Okay, and that was pretty close to the end of the session. Then it just got really choppy in here until the session was done. And then there was an opportunity. Where was it? We had a lower swing right here, so there was an opportunity to short from right here. And that was after the session was done this morning. Okay, it came down and went right through this dynamic support, all the way down here. And since then, it's been kind of choppy. There was one opportunity right here, going back into this range, and one more right here. That would have been a break even for sure. Okay. Now the ES, what did we do with the ES? We had 3 trades. Yeah, scrolling back. Okay, we started out here on the ES, and we had a break even right here on close above that trend line. Then went down into the zone, pulled right back up into the zone. Went down again, gave a shorting opportunity here that I missed. And one there that I missed. And one here that I missed. And here that I missed, and there that I missed. I don't know why I was missing all those. But anyway, the ES gave, it had some opportunity today. We finally picked one up here. We got 8 ticks on that. And we had a break even right there. So I should not be negative on the day. If I didn't miss those trades, I would not be negative on the day. But there was a lot of questions in the room lately. And that's okay. We encourage the questions. But that's why I'm missing things, because I'm showing people stuff. And today, I also had the guy working on my house today. Fortunately, he's done now. Okay, and that was the morning session. Okay, here we go. Spreadsheet. It was a red day. We're minus $60 today on 9 trades. We're minus 8 on the euro, minus 11 on crude, and plus 8 on the ES. Now, I should easily have gotten the goal for the day today, but I had to step away twice. We did it all in 9 trades. So on the month now, we're at 666 and a quarter. That's over 6 days, averaging 111 per day. On the year, we're at 2,697. That is over 25 days, averaging $107 per day. Now, again, this is, we're just at the beginning of the year here, so this spreadsheet goes back over 6 years. So if you want to go back and see how things have really been, over time, then this is all of last year right here. And if you added 1 contract per month and did everything exactly the same way that I do it, that's where you would have been at the end of the year. If you started with 10 contracts at the beginning of the year and you did everything exactly the same as I did and got complete fills on both ends, that's where you would have been. Okay. And that's that. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the home page here at CFRN.net. And right over here in the right-hand column, it says apply.cfrn.net. Click on that, and you'll be brought to this page, where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us, and you hit the submit button. And then you will get a confirmation link sent to you. Okay? You must click on the confirmation link, right? If you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. Okay. Valerie, are you there?
I am.
Okay. I was just curious because Dwayne sent you a message, but he sent it in a different. I'll send it to you. I just wanted to make sure you were there. Okay. So that's all of that stuff. Now, we'll see how the markets react for the rest of the day. I think, I don't know. We had at 12 o'clock, we had the grain report come out. Now, let me see. Do I have a soybean chart up? I do. At 12 o'clock, we had a grain report come out at noon. And I'm not sure if this is the right contract for the grains. Let me go check. I think so. Yeah. And usually when the grain report comes out, you're going to get a lot of movement, especially this one, because it was actually 2 grain reports. Yes, that's probably a good idea now. And, well, I don't really see a whole lot happening here. Now, before the grain report came out, there was a shorting opportunity here and here on the soybeans. And then nothing else, really. I was thinking there would be more movement than that, because that was one of the questions that was asked last night. Joan had asked that last night. What other markets can you actively trade? What other markets can you actively trade outside of the 4 markets that we do in here? And what I would say is, first, figure out when you can trade, then put like a 5-minute chart up and put volume on it. And go check out if the volume is active in those periods where you can trade. That's what I would think. Okay, and yeah, with that, I'm not sure if Dwayne's back yet, but he said he had to go take a phone call. Let's see, you see how this market, it has selling pressure right here where it is. It sold off there. It's up here again. It's probably going to sell off here again. It's got dynamic resistance right here that has not been broken yet. Okay. And yeah, all that. All that. And the crude oil. Okay. Crude, the 6E. Yeah, we just looked at the 6E. The ES has another weekly trading zone up above here at 2692, 2692.93. Oh yeah, I gotta do that too. Okay. Dwayne, are you back yet? I guess he's not.
And at some point, I would like to do that for you.
To do what?
Set the training room up for next week.
Oh, okay.
That's what you were thinking, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. And all right, so here on the euro, it needs to break this dynamic resistance here. Okay, it just needs to break through that dynamic resistance. Gold is not trending here. It should, well, I guess it did put in a higher swing, but it's stuffed at dynamic resistance as well. And crude oil, well, crude oil's got really nothing going on over there. And the ES. Well, the ES doesn't have anything here either. Really. Let's look at the big picture on it. Okay.
Dwayne says he's almost on his way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I will keep the troops entertained. So this is the 15-minute. And let's see, that's going to be an inside bar, it looks like. But how much time do we have left? One minute left in this 15-minute candle. Yeah, so that's probably going to be an inside bar. So this has been the day on the ES. It went zone to zone and it's head back up to the zone, but it started right here, the midpoint between these two zones, and it dropped down to this one and consolidated a bit. Then it went down to the midpoint between the two zones again, came back up and hit the zone. Then it dropped all the way down to the other zone and stopped there. Now, is that the lowest zone of the month? I mean, of the week? Let me go check. The lowest zone of the week is at 26.33. So no, it was not the lowest zone of the week. Wow, there's a big drop between here and the next zone. 26.32, 26.33. Yeah, so there's like 50 points between here and the next one down. That's a big drop. I think it was like that last week too. The highest and lowest zones of the week. Anyway, Dwayne likes to look at the 30-minute. So we'll go look at the 30-minute. See how messy that is. Okay, your question, Vic, was to Dwayne, not to me. So I'm not exactly sure. It was at 12:03 was your question, decision bar. And Dwayne hadn't even started talking until 12:08. The week before, next zone down 77.76. Okay, so that's just not too far down below this one. And it looks like it's really trying to get up here to the next zone right now. That's what it looks like it's trying to do. This is a new 30-minute candle. We had what, a spinning top on that last one. Bang, back it up, 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 back it up. Okay. Valerie, hang on, I have to send you a message. So we don't have anything developing anywhere really right now. We got to bounce off the BBC right here. That's slowly working its way up. It was a momentum trade. So your stop would have gone to break even right away, and you probably would have gotten out at break even. Okay. And let's see. Over here on the ES, it's not really trending. That's the problem. We have lower highs and higher lows, so we can't really do anything over there. And the crude is moving in this range looks like it's trying to go up, but the green line is already up above the cycle, so it's likely to pull back here before it goes any higher, before it goes too much higher. But you see how this range was holding it down all morning. It got to the top of the range and sold off and sold off and sold off, sold off, sold off, and sold off and off. And see right here, it went through the top. It expanded the range just a little bit. But that was the mess that we had to deal with this morning. And I really wish I was there to capture this one. That would have got me the goal for the day right there. And this one that I stopped out on, I probably shouldn't have, not that one, the second one that I stopped out on. I probably shouldn't have done because we didn't put in a lower swing right here. I was looking at the short term, lower highs and lower lows. And I said, okay, well, you know, we're in this range. It's got a sell signal right here. And we're probably going down to the bottom of the range, but it just stopped me out, sadly. And right now, it needs to pull back, get that green line down below the cycle. Okay. All right. Now, I don't have the numbers from around the world or news from around the world. You'll have to wait for Dwayne to come back to get all that. See, the euro had a nice downtrend here. It just wasn't giving up the trades. One there and one there and one there. But you know how the markets, they always go in the same motion. Down, pull back. Then right here where it didn't put in a lower swing and it pulled back up and put in a higher swing, I was thinking maybe we're going to get, you know, a trend change here. Then it went and did this and it pulled back up here. And we didn't have a trade set up. Well, the trades we do in the room were not there. Now, if you were doing the other trades, you know, there was a 128 here. There was a 128. Nope, not there. Here, and here, and here. And then it changed directions, and right there. And there was also a 128 right here. So there were a lot of opportunities if you were doing the other trade setups that we do on Tuesdays. Okay, there are a lot of trade opportunities in there. You know, if you don't limit yourself to the 2 trade setups that we do in the room. Now, the reason I stick to those 2 trade setups in the room, it's because the spreadsheet that we have is based on those 2 trade setups alone. Okay, I don't have a spreadsheet for all the other trade setups. We started this one out back in January 2nd, 2013. And it was just using those 2 trade setups. And, you know, the spreadsheet's evolved quite a bit since then, you know, giving you a lot more information. You know, as I went along and people were asking for information, you know, consistently asking for the same things, I try to get everything into the spreadsheet so everybody gets what they want. Okay. Yeah. Let's see on crude. See here where it was really choppy? Let me show you this. It went down, then it went back up, didn't put in a higher high, went back down, didn't put in a lower low, went back up, didn't put in a higher high, went back down, didn't put in a lower low. Same thing again and again and again in here. And the beauty of the trade setups is that they keep you out of that garbage. Okay? See, because you're looking at that for your high and that for your low. So it wasn't until it broke out right here, and this was during the break, that it broke out right there that there were actually any trade setups. I'm not going to go all the way over here for that. Erase all drawings. There. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Questions? Anybody want to see any other markets? Let's see, like the Russell. Now this is the Russell, and I have the Flow PB paint bar on it. That's what the orange and black and white is. Now the white is a transition candle. And basically what the colors mean is it kind of summarizes what you see in front of you. Now if you're going to have this thing running, you got to have a good computer, because this doubles the amount of processing that it takes to just have the indicators on there. Okay, because it takes all the information from all these indicators into account. It recreates it basically, and so it's doing everything twice on every bar, on every tick, really. And so when it's orange, what it means is, of these 6 lines, you know, these 3 right here and these 3 down here, it means that 4 or more are going up. If it's black, it means that 4 or more are going down. Okay, so it's basically summarizing everything that you have right in front of you, and you can make trade decisions based on, basically you can make trade decisions just based on the color if you wanted to. You know, like let's say every time you have an orange bar that closes above the MA1, that's probably going to be a pretty high probability trade there and there. And every time you have a black bar that closes below the MA1, that's probably going to have pretty high probability. Okay, like right here, orange bar closing above the MA1. See where that goes. You know, we have dynamic resistance right here, and it would be a momentum trade going into dynamic resistance, which I don't do. But this is this one right here. Go to indicators, CFRN, CF Flow PB, right here.
I'm here, by the way, and for that I'm truly sorry.
Okay, that's all right. And this sensitivity number right here, Vic, that is what determines how many lines have to be going in what direction for it to change color. Like if I were to change this to a 6, there'd be a lot more white bars. Okay, because then with the 6, it would be only when all the lines are going in the same direction. Okay. But you want to be there at the start of the change. The 6 would be like right in the middle, or maybe toward the end of it. But you see how this one worked out. An orange bar closed above the MA1, and so far it's given about 7 or 8 ticks. Okay? Okay.
My wife thinks I'm going through the change. Speaking of change. No, seriously, men do that. They go through it too.
Yeah, I know. I've read about it.
Have you started getting your hot flashes yet?
No, but Jada gets them all the time. It's awful. It's awful. And you know, she's got the fan on and the windows open. You know, she's bundled up in blankets. You know when she gets hot, she likes to put her leg out from under the covers.
No,
just one leg. Yeah. Well,
we sleep with a fan. We sleep with a fan around throughout the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's always
because the white noise and just to have a little breeze on you.
Yeah.
Feels good. It got cold here yesterday. Got down to 34.
Really, that is cold for you guys.
Flirting
That's
with
cold for
freezing.
us.
Yep. Yep.
It was 78 here yesterday.
That'll probably be our last. We'll probably see 120 before we see 34 again.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just guessing.
All right. So on that particular one right there, it was on the Russell, mind you, but it was 1499.10, and it ran up to 1500. So yeah, that was a perfectly good example of what I was telling you. All right. Well, it's getting kind of late now. It's 12:42. John's not out there, but if you want to take the charts back and go over the rest of the numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'll probably pop in.
Yeah.
I haven't spoke with him. Okay. And okay. So here we go. Now, has this, okay, this morning at 8:30 Eastern, roughly, give or take, well, yeah, I pointed the error at this candle. So when this candle, see how we sliced through here? We were talking about that. Price pulled back up to the zone to confirm it as good resistance because it's overhead. And then on a slice, this is exactly what happens a high percentage of the time, which makes it a high probability. We don't know what's going to happen next, but we know what the high probability is. Okay, and so there it goes. Now, when price hits a weekly zone, whether it consolidates or gets rejected, the logical thing to happen is that price is going to go to the zone overhead. From the zone below to the zone overhead to the zone below, failure to thrive right there. Drop through the zone, back up to the zone, down to the zone, up to the zone, down to the zone. Now, how long will the market continue to do that? Until current price meets a force greater than itself. Here, this is the opening candle. Now, I'm gonna add one more layer to this in just a moment, and it'll make everything crystal clear. Opening candle this morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, day session open. Now we've been at this since 6 p.m. last night. This was, got to use your strong mind. Right here, this was a big green candle. Now, we have a few dynamics in place that maybe some people don't. And so just imagine on the 9:30 opening candle, you got this huge green candle from a low of 2687.50 to 2697. Well, let's call it 10 points. We'll call it 9 points. Here's a 9-point big old green candle right off the open. Woohoo, this thing's turning around. We got the double bottom. We go to the moon. Not so quick. See what happened? It failed. And we talked about it in the channel. We were talking our way through it. We don't put out any alerts during the first 30 minutes. Just simply personal preference. There are a lot of people who don't participate in the greatest volatility of the day. That's from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Eastern. And I happen to be one of those. Again, really a personal preference more than anything. But you have a whole new madcap cast of zany characters that joined the market at 10 a.m. Eastern. So think about that. Why do we get so many 10 a.m. reversals? Sometimes it's news driven, because we often get 10 a.m. economic reports. We didn't have any today. But it's also that whole other group who haven't placed a trade yet. They're day session traders. They just don't do the first 30 minutes. And then bang, they hit the mat. Okay? So, big green candle. And we were looking for a potential 10 a.m. reversal. I said if this thing closes on the high, I certainly think we'll get a 10 a.m. reversal. And when it didn't, well, that led to one anyway. So here's where we triggered that number 1404, alert number 1404. We waited all night since yesterday for this thing to trigger. It finally triggered. However, it triggered, right there is 2685. This next candle, look at the high, 2694. From 85 to 94, 9 points, right? So if we don't want to risk more than 300 on any alert, less if we can based on our methodology, then you get stopped out. Where would be the ideal place to put the stop? If money were no object and you truly thought the market was headed south, then that would be up here. Book a mentoring session, I'll go into some detail with you on that. So here we have to, now somebody in the channel, I posed a question. Let me see if I can find it. And David V, if you're tuned in, say something to me in the chat box, because I want to answer your question while you're here to watch, okay? Hang on, let me find here. And had posed a question. All right, I had showed this, which basically, I showed a picture of this right here. Except this red candle was the last one. No, this one was a red doji at the time I snapped the picture. Here, can I just drag it up? Should be able to. This is what it looked like then. Tell me in 3 sentences or less what this means to you. There are no wrong answers. Okay. One of the answers was, let me find it again. One of the answers was, it's a double confirming short, yes. Bouncing off weekly trading zone in the BBC, yes. Also red candle, yes. And then the last 3 words, sell the farm. And so I messaged back, if not already short, perhaps wait for price to print the other side of the WTZ at a minimum before selling said farm. In other words, price is coming down to the zone, but until it gets to the other side of the zone, I have to believe it's going to be good support until proven otherwise. Just like on this trek up, I have to believe it's going to be good resistance until proven otherwise. That's the nature of the zone, and it has been since we first published them December 14th of 2009, and we've published them every Monday since then at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Now, I said I was going to lay one more layer on here, and you probably know what that is. Here we go. Okay, now, cleanse your mental state, your head palette, right? You see how, okay, we can see exactly what price did, how it behaved. It obeyed the 3 laws of the zones, okay? Consolidation, most likely. Second most likely, rejection. Least likely, the slice. But with all this heavy momentum we've had the last couple of days, the downward momentum, we had a slice there, a slice there. I don't know that I've ever seen 3 slices on a 30-minute chart over a 2-day period, but here it is. So now, the real guiding light I just put on and took off, so let me put it back on. I want you to see the difference it makes visually so that you aren't left guessing and wondering what you should do. You know what you should do. Where's price? Let me ask that question back here. Where's price? Where's price? Price actually got above the BBC, but it ran into the zone and got smacked back down. Now you got to believe that 98% of the traders in the marketplace are not aware of this particular dynamic. Now they probably got some dynamic we're not aware of. It's not our market truth. This is our market truth. I can teach you this market truth. I can't teach you their market truth. I don't know it. You follow me? Okay. We hit the BBC. Yeah, we spiked it. And we failed. Again, we spike it. Put a little doji there. Fail. Spike it and fail. Spike it and fail. Right here. Now, keep in mind, this was a big green candle towering over the zone and the BBC until it wasn't. You always got to let the current candle finish its job. If you're in the process of formulating an analysis, it always has to be, the last part of the equation is when this candle closes. Because you don't know which way the wind's blowing until that happens. Now, when the candle closes, it may not give you any new relevant information. Or it might. What could this candle do right now to give us relevant information in the next 8 minutes? I don't care how high it goes and closes. That's not going to sway me. Yeah, it's a close above the BBC. I'll be watching for a pullback to the BBC and see if it holds. Okay? what if it turned around and dropped below 2681, this weekly trading zone? This is an old weekly zone here, and it's what we've been using as the target for this bigger move down. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way for a minute. So if this thing reversed and closed below the low of this candle, which would put it below this weekly trading zone, that's another lower low. See, we had a low, a lower low, another lower low right here. That would be actionable intel. That would be something we could use right here, right now, in 7 minutes. Certainly doesn't look like that's going to happen. But anything can happen. Always remember that. As soon as you get something in your head, well, this always does this. Like when I tell you that only 3 things can happen when price hits a weekly trading zone. That just didn't pop into my head one day. No, I watched this, and I watched this, and I watched this, and I studied this with no preconceived notions. I don't want to understand what I think can happen. I want to understand what does happen. Imagine my surprise when I was able to take everything that happens at a weekly trading zone, price-wise, and put it into one of 3 slots. Consolidation, rejection, or the slice. When you look at a chart, there are literally a million possibilities of what can happen. Or you can reduce that to 2. Price is eventually going to move higher and put in a higher high, right? Or price is going to go down and eventually put in a lower low. There's your trend. Now, if we move down, that's a continuation of the current trend. If we break bad and go higher, right? If we take out this swing high, now we got a bullish cross in effect, and now we got to wait for that pullback, and we're going to get going to the upside. Does it always get going to the upside? No. It could go up, close above, pull back to the BBC, start a bounce, hit this zone, roll over, and in one fell swoop take out the lows. Is that a high probability thing to happen? You can't even hazard a guess at this point, because we have 2 objectives that the market must overcome before we even get a bullish cross. Price has to close above the BBC and above this weekly trading zone. Then it's got another obstacle to take out this swing high. Then the next obstacle is to take out this swing high and this zone overhead. Now, trust me, last Sunday, when I did the calculations, put the zones together and published them Monday morning, I had no idea that price would pull up perfectly to the BBC into this zone and print a little doji there. But when it does, I know how to put that to good use, because I know what the high probability thing is for the market to do next. And you can know that as well. You come, you hang out on the channel, and you learn along with all of us. Every day is a learning experience for everyone. Myself, Michael, Valerie, Bert. The day you stop learning is the day you stop living. Now, David, let me go address your question that you had put into the channel. Let me find it. Hang on. Okay. All right. Okay. When we were talking about on this candle here, and I showed you guys this, that picture just a minute ago, and somebody had said, you know, should we sell the farm here? And I said, you know, wait until we print below this zone before you go selling the farm. See, we save the farm. That's always good. Disney should make a movie. So we wanted price to take out the current swing low and get below this zone, which we expect to be good support until it isn't. Just like we expect this zone to be good resistance until it isn't. So someone might have the same idea. Oh, okay, this thing's green, it's rallying up, we should buy it. Okay. If it keeps going, eventually we will do some buying, but because this is not in keeping with the current trend. First thing we got to do is see it close above that zone. Yeah. And then some follow through, which will create the cross, and then the pullback, and then we need to hold that pullback. And then we can start placing our buy orders, tracking with the market as far as it can go. Now, that brings up a good question. Where can it go? Let's jump over here. This is the daily chart. Remember we talked about this yesterday. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg. Got a bullish cross along the way. What's our cycle saying down here? That's pretty bullish. Okay. Talked about price. It's the bullish cross on the daily chart. It has not pulled back to the BBC, and price always reverts to the mean. Sometimes when it reverts to the mean, it fails and keeps going. And sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes it does. And sometimes it head fakes you real good, like that. But ultimately doesn't. Okay? So understanding this dynamic on the daily chart, the larger the time frame, the more important it is. Okay? Yes, we take our entries off much smaller time frames, but when it comes to the alerts, I like to line them up with what's happening in some larger time frame. Now, there's no magic time frame, so it doesn't have to be a daily. It could be a 4-hour, an hour, a 30-minute, a 9-minute, whatever you resonate with, whatever allows you to reconcile what is happening and understand what the next high probability thing is to happen. Remember, price is either going to go higher or lower. That sounds very simplistic, very elementary, but sometimes we get ourselves so tied up in knots with theories and indicators and oscillators and crystal balls and gurus and just so much noise. Turn it off, Despite all the waves and everything else from here, I can honestly say price is definitely moving higher unless we start to break down. Beware the guy that tells you that. All right? Oh, the chat box. Let me open that up. Okay, now David V, type into the chat box here in the show. Type in there to me anything else that I can explain to you about that concept that I was trying to get across. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get it across in the channel because instead of the spoken word, we've got the typewritten word. And we do have images. Sometimes the images move. Sorry to the guy I made sick yesterday with the roller coaster video, or the GIF. Michael, do you say GIF or GIF?
GIF.
Valerie, weigh in, please. Not the scale. No, just, do you say GIF or GIF? Oh, you know that keyboard sound right there? You know what's really aggravating? When you try to call the cable company here in Phoenix, and they give you a recorded thing that goes, it's going to be a pretty long time before you can talk to somebody. But wait, you could press 1 and we would instigate a text message session with you and one of our representatives. So I thought, actually the first time I used it, it worked well because I was occupied doing something else. So when my phone dinged, I knew that they had said something and I could say something back. It actually worked pretty good. But this last time was so aggravating because they couldn't seem to get me connected to the right person. And every time you say something, it goes like there's actually a person there typing. It's kind of cute, kind of comical, but the other day it just made me angry. I typed things I wish I hadn't. But you know what? Once you hit send, yeah, what you can do about it. Unless you're Telegram, then you can do it. Oh, Twitter is considering letting you edit your tweets.
Really?
Why was that ever even a thing? I mean, why shouldn't you be able to edit your tweet?
I don't know.
They say even if what's his name signs off on it, He's going to. They're still going to maintain an original of the tweet.
That's kind of like
yeah, what?
The spreadsheet stuff that we do. You know, you can always roll back. If I make a mistake on it and I delete a whole bunch of things by accident, I can always just roll back to the prior version. They keep a copy of it.
Except I don't think that's why they're doing it. I think everybody's a little bit afraid of what other people are saying on these companies, Facebook, Twitter. You know, what people are able to say online, exercising their freedom of speech. It's starting to, even YouTube is starting to clamp down. Some of the people that are a little too edgy and some of the videos that are a little too far out there, that they've always just said, well, that's protected by your freedom of speech and all of that. They're starting to rethink that. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Censorship is censorship, but hate is hate, mean is mean, stupid is stupid. A lot of what drove that was this most recent original Netflix movie, Bird Box, which we talked about on the show here before. They started these Bird Box challenges on YouTube. That's people going out and driving their car with a blindfold on and getting hurt real bad. And innocent people, not just a stupid guy wearing a blindfold driving his car, but innocent people are getting hurt. And so YouTube started to clamp down on that pretty quick. But my son all the time is coming home from school, oh, Dad, you're not going to believe this challenge on YouTube. I'm like, son, that's going to rot your brain. Stop watching that stuff. Okay, so does everybody understand? As price pulls back here, now again, price is above the BBC. When price pulls back to the BBC, what do we expect? Do we expect it to fall through? No. We expect it to be good support until it isn't. Just like over here on this 30-minute. It has been good resistance all the way down. As we're trying to accomplish that objective on the daily chart, pull back to the BBC so we can put in another leg to the upside, the market, in its infinite kindness, allowed us to participate in this. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace. As we're accomplishing that daily objective. Remember, the larger time frame is always the most important. Which brings up the monthly. We'll talk about the monthly here in just a minute. Coming off the worst December since 1931, we stepped into this month right here, which has been, well, yeah, that was December. This is where's February? Right, there's some February. Come on. Is there a lot of volume going through? The charts.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, you know, David, now I'm gonna look back at the chat box in a second. Oh, I see you already typed something in. Okay, hang on, and I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah, he had typed that in while you were gone, though. A while ago. Oh, okay. The first thing he typed in was
price prints above 93.92. We wait for weekly trading zone support to continue the trend. Let me go back to that chart because this one's chart's acting badly. Oh, I see why. Let's try this one more time. Oh, there's February. Just missed it. Okay, so monthly chart. Doesn't matter what time frame. Leg, retrace, leg. As long as price is above the BBC, we expect higher prices. We know it's going to pull back. It's going to revert to the mean. It's going to try to get to that BBC. And expect it to bounce until it doesn't. And here we go. And then we're up. Okay. Hey, Michael, I got to check something. Can you hold on for me 1 second?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I am going through Ninja Trader here and trying to update a few things for people. Is anybody else getting pop-up messages in Ninja telling them this stuff's going to expire? If you are, just email me. at support@cfrn.net, and I'll take care of it for you. Right now, I am trying to fix up one thing for one fella, and Kurt said whatever I did fixed it. Yeah. Let me go through here and here. Vendor support and end. Okay, because there are a bunch of people who are in here who are due to end in 2019. I'm just going through to see the ones that are due to end soonest in 2019. That's today, 2/8/2019. Okay, and all those people were on the trial. Okay, so that's a big inside bar right there, that last green one. And the current one so far is outside of that last one on a monthly. Okay, on a monthly chart. And you said if price prints above the 93.92, we wait for support to continue the trend. If it now prints below 82.81, we would wait for resistance, or at that point continue the trend down. And you're talking about the ES, right, David? Let me blow this up. Okay, I'm looking at it on a 4-tick range, but I'm going to flip it to, I'm going to let Dwayne, okay, I'll look at it on a 30-minute. I'm going to let Dwayne keep the charts, and I'll just look at it here and give you my humble opinion. Yeah, so if the current 30-minute bar closes up above the weekly trading zone, then, I mean, you can see that we're in a clear uptrend here on 30-minute charts. We just went from the last zone right up to this one. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just trying to answer David's question. Say if it closes up above the weekly trading zone, the current 30-minute bar closes up above the weekly trading zone, I would look to a smaller time frame for long opportunities. Okay, that's what I would think would be the thing to do. Okay.
Let's see what that looks like. Okay, now what Michael just said, a 30-minute, if this thing closes up here, what's it probably going to do? Pull back, it holds, that's going to be the same as these two are going to meet somewhere around there, potentially. Because see, in order for price to continue higher, it's got to take out that high, and then it's got to take out. Hey, John.
Hello there. Sorry I'm a bit late today.
Welcome to the show. No, that's all right. I've had a crazy schedule for me.
Still trying to fix this internet problem. Anyhow,
it sounded much better yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's I'm using a different source, but the problem is one. I don't know why, but the internet problem that I have on some computers, it doesn't. Without that internet, the things they have a DNS problem. I don't know why. It's kind of a crazy thing, but anyway, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, and it's just still not resolved here for 3 days. And that's my faster speed as well. Listen, this is turning into a pretty good day for gold and silver. You know, we came down and tested what effectively was, you know, tested the 13. We didn't even get there. We got to 1307. Yesterday we bounced back up to the 1312 or 13 or so, and today we're up another 5 and getting back to where we were a few days ago now, which is really constructive. We're at 1319, and the gold stocks have rebounded pretty impressively. The JNUG came down to test the 10 breakout, which it didn't quite get to 10, and the Nugget got down to 19.5, and it's back to 20.5 right now. So, and Newmont, which was a little bit subdued, is also rebounding. Now it just went positive. Royal Gold is just acting phenomenally. It's up another couple of dollars, very, very bullish. And gold itself, GOLD, which is a newly combined company that got split on the combination, is actually also moving up quite well today. So all of the gold stocks are acting well, and the J Dust and the Dust are threatening to go to new contract lows, new all-time lows here. So just one sec, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. So here's the deal. Price will either close above, pull back, hold that pullback, and continue higher, or with 16 minutes left in this 30-minute candle, we could fail and leave a wick sticking out above like we did here. Now, which is the highest probability? Think it through, right? That we're going to break through the zone, take out that high, hold on a pullback, keep going higher. You know what? Think path of least resistance. If you're in a downtrend, path of least resistance is to continue down. Here's where you would really want to think that through. If price takes out this swing high, now something's happened, because you see on the way down there was a swing high right there, and then a leg down and a retracement. This high, this pullback right here, did not take out that swing high. It put in a lower high. Then we did another retracement. We did a leg and another retracement where we put in another lower high. Boom, boom. Leg, retracement, lower high, still a lower high. If price can get a, do you understand how that changes the whole dynamic of the market? You're going to have a bullish cross. You're going to have price on top of the BBC instead of below the BBC. And when that happens, you have to switch gears and start thinking higher prices. In an uptrend, the path of least resistance is actually up. There are dynamics that come into play, like when you're up against a high of the session, high of the day, high of the week, or the all-time high, and we're well off that. Daily chart, what are we trying to do? Trying to pull back to that PVC. And with this little rally we caught, look at that little... Here. Swing low, 26.80.75. BBC 26.65. Okay. Now back to your David. If price prints above 93.92. We wait for weekly trading zone support to continue the trend. And other things. Yeah. If it prints below 82.81, we would wait for WTZ support. 82.81 provides the market with support, like it did here. Price fell down, and the zone supported it. The zone overhead rejected price. It was resistance. Resistance. Zone below support. Overhead resistance. Does that help you, David? If you have any more questions, please type them in. I will give you my undivided attention. It's a promise. All right. Any other questions? What time is it? And John's a little busy. Okay. Is the same dynamic in play on the Dow? Leg and a retracement, and a leg and a retracement, and a leg and a retracement, leg and a retracement, a leg and a retracement. It's decision time right there. 2502530, and then below, this is an old zone, so I need to move that. The one below is 24810. Although you can see last week's zone served us pretty well. This week it's down at 810. About to be 810-ish. I had it right the first time. It's 810/15. Which, even though we just bounced off of a last week's zone, okay, I just made it go away and put this week's zone below. That visually, you should see how this went. Leg, retrace right up to the zone, leg, retrace. I want your eyes to see the highest probability. The highest probability is a move back to challenge these lows, and if we can take out that swing low, then we should find good support here. See how it takes a lot of work, man, for this thing to get turned around and start heading to the upside. Every little rally gets sold, sold, sold. I got to expect this one to get sold too, until it doesn't. That wick starting to show. We've got 10 minutes left in this candle. A lot can happen in 10 minutes. Russell took off this morning leading to the upside. Is it clairvoyant? Was it a profit? No. It looks like it was wrong because what ultimately happened. So where are we at? We still have a bearish cross. We look in the rearview mirror, the last thing we see is a bearish cross. Got to expect lower prices until that dynamic changes. Now the weekly zone here is 1495/96. Now remember, zones are published Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern for all the partners and passport holders. I don't want you to think that somehow this is magic or voodoo. It's not. It's called reading the chart, which is something I'll teach you how to do. And I didn't know the price would come down and bounce perfectly off that, hit the BBC, come back. You know, I don't know any of that at the beginning of the week. I can't know the future any more than I can change the past. That's the reality. But important prices and important areas are almost always tested. They never go away. When you're able to identify important prices, important areas, look what price did up here. It dropped through, came back to confirm good resistance, made a beeline to the zone below, and hasn't been able to get back above the BBC since, except for that little kind of head fake right there. Hey David, you know you can book a mentoring session anytime. That way you don't have to type. Always happy to spend a little time with you and help you wherever you're at on the journey. All you got to do is book it. Okay, now NQ. We know that the NQ often can lead up or down. Doesn't always. No one index always leads. Don't waste your time trying to make that dog hunt, because it won't. If the NQ gets a bullish cross, we'll watch to see, does the S&P follow? Does the Dow follow? Because this morning, off the open, it sure looked like the Russell knew something the rest of us didn't. This was a big red candle. And now, look where we are. Okay, and Crude. Crude made a spike. What was that? That was at 11:30. Oh, was it trying to accommodate the daily double? Per chance. Consider selling Crude at 52.30 to 52.10. It did not make it. The swing low there was 52.20, and it's already ran up to 52.80. So that will reflect as just being stopped out. It may continue down. It may complete this move. It may see 52.10 and 51.85. Even though we've got a bullish cross, we've still not taken out these highs right here. So even though there's a bullish cross, and price put in a leg and a retracement and a leg and a much deeper retracement and attempted another leg, so these highs are taken out, which, look left, bang. What was once support often becomes resistance. This was support, so if price does continue down, when it gets into this area here, we look left and go, okay, well, this should provide pretty good support. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it for this week. Again, if you check with Valerie, support at CFRN.net, or call 949-42-EMINI. You can get the link to the trial we just completed, the Logic 247 Alert trial. You can go through and look at not only this week's trial that we just finished, you can also go in there and look at previous weeks. Okay? We've done several trials in there. I've posted recaps from weeks we didn't even have a trial. There's just a lot of information. There's also a discussion group that goes along with the trial. You could spend probably an hour reading through all the conversations, all the questions, and all the answers. And that won't cost you a dime. All right? Okay. Good word for the day. Got it right here. If there's any final questions, put them in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer them. Now, we hear a lot about, if you're a church-going sort, now we hear about the blood a lot. The blood of Jesus. 1 John 1:7. The blood of Jesus, his son, cleanses us from all sin. We hear about the blood when we talk about the crucifixion, when we talk about the Last Supper, when we take communion once a month, if that's something that your church does. The blood. In the everlasting blood. Remember, it's one of those old hymns from my youth. Blood is the one element that reaches every part of the body. Now, on a side note, Isaiah revealed that life is in the blood. That's Old Testament. It wasn't until the late 1800s that modern science, modern medicine, discovered, determined, signed off on the fact that, guess what? Life is in the blood. Go figure. One for Isaiah. The precious cargo that blood carries of oxygen and nutrients, they carry life, energy, nourishment, and healing. The white cells function like paramedics, cleansing wounds and healing disease. They serve as a militia fighting off potential attackers. There's a huge spiritual lesson here. We each need the life-giving blood of Jesus to cleanse us, protect us, and sustain us. We need it every day, not just on Sunday. The Bible says, if we walk in the light as He is in the light, the blood of Jesus Christ, His Son, cleanses us from all sin. That means as you continue to walk with Jesus, His blood continues to cleanse you from all your sin. Ask any doctor. The blood determines who a child's real father is. And the blood of Jesus proves you are God's redeemed child. Otherwise, you're just a pseudo-heir trying to receive promises reserved for members of the family. Every one of our Heavenly Father's blessings flows to us through that shed blood. It's what enables each of us to stand before Him righteous and qualified to receive His blessings. Thank God for the emphasis there is in the church today on the Holy Spirit. But understand that God accepts us because He sees us through that blood. It's through that blood that we're empowered, but insecure, using our spiritual gifts, but living under needless condemnation. Counselor, tell your hurting clients that by the power of Jesus' blood, they can tear down every stronghold in their family and break every chain that links them to the past. Take a moment right now. Thank God for that blessing. Life is in the blood. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is the weekend. CFRN bylaws state that all community members will spend quality time with their family, and I'll see you in church on Sunday. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.